Hey, I'm Leona Nicole Black, and it's a pleasure to be here with you for your monthly zodiac reading. Just a couple of things I wanted to make you aware of before we get into the message. Firstly, that I'm doing daily tarot stories, so you can follow that here on my YouTube channel or over on my Instagram page, Leona Nicole Black. The full script of the story is also posted on my website, nicoleblack.com/daily-tarot-story, and I pull the cards and allow them to inspire a piece of creative writing that expresses a message for not necessarily that day because it's a much longer energy, but really just allowing myself to show up daily and be that oracle. That's the purpose of it. So the message isn't about Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. It's more so that this is on a daily basis. This is my spiritual practice around allowing myself to bring a message through for you. So listen to it whenever you can, whenever it's feeling, that you feel called to it and it resonates. Secondly, for those of you who are interested in beginning tarot reading or for yourselves or have been reading for a short while, I did an amazing webinar. Thank you to everyone who came to it on August the 12th, and the playback of that content, that material is now available on my website. It's called Intuitive Paths to Freedom, Finding Your Feet with Tarot. And you can find out all about what's included in that course on my website, nicoleblack.com/courses. The links will be in the description box. It's an hour and a half of tarot tuition and it's only £22. So if you're interested in developing your practice and getting to know tarot cards, then I suggest you have a look at that. Thank you so much for supporting me and my work and embarking on that learning journey with me. Hey Pisces, this is for Sun, Moon and Rising. So, interesting spread. I'll be honest, when I saw your first three cards, I was like, oh no, Pisces. Well, I think you're okay. As I sat with the message, I was like, okay, I get it. I was just thinking, gosh, we've worked really hard over the last few months to kind of get you into a space of spiritual maturity. And I was like, man, did you guys slide back? Did you backslide? But you're good, you're good, you're good. Okay, so let's get into your messages. First three cards representing how you're showing up this month. So when I say how you're showing up this month, I mean the way you're facing the world, the way you're facing your challenges, the energy you're expressing in your environment. And you have two major arcanas and then minor. So you've got a court card. You've got the King of Cups here. This is your energy. And then you've also got on either side, really, you've got the Emperor in reverse as a major arcana and the Devil card upright. Now these two major arcana cards, sorry, excuse me, a bit of a throat issue. These two major arcana cards are not your actual energy because they're major arcanas are actually the way the spirit is involved with you at the moment. This is like the energies that are being exacted on top of you. So you're feeling these things in terms of your internal life. So let's talk about it. What I'm really feeling for you, Pisces, I'm going to put these cards here for a second because I don't really want to hold them up. What I'm really feeling for you, Pisces, is that the King of Cups here is reflecting what I said to you in the beginning of the reading and my concern that we've gone on a long journey. And I say we because I feel like I, as your opposite sign as a Virgo, have played a significant role over the last few months in getting you to see yourself and to take responsibility for where you are in your life and actually to grow and move forward. And I've actually been very proud of the Pisces people that are connected to my energy because I'm seeing you make that effort. And the King of Cups here is the result of that. This is your maturation. I was going to say emotional maturation, but it isn't just emotional. It's actually your maturation in general. And the reason that it's the cups is because that's actually just the energy archetype that you live through, i.e. you're a water sign. The King of Cups shows you finding stability in your life. This shows you also taking the position of authority. Now, what's interesting to me is that with the Emperor in reverse and the Devil card here, sorry, I just want to touch my throat with a crystal here. You do actually have the Page of Swords in reverse later, and this might be also why I'm feeling this obstruction when I speak. We'll get to that. So, you've got the Emperor and the Devil card on either side. Now, what I feel is stuck between a rock and a hard place. That's the energy I'm feeling for you. Yes, you've gone on this journey. You are spiritually more mature than you were before, but you're being challenged right now. On the one hand, by the Emperor in reverse, this is authority figures. Now, in reverse, it's authority figures from your past. What this can be is that things from the past have caught up with you, Pisces. So this could be relationships, this could be like a parental energy, this could be particularly patriarchy and masculinity, so this won't relate to the energy of your father or your employer, governments and systems. Okay, so this can be legal issues as well. I'm pausing because really I'm trying to give you some demonstrations about what it could be, but on the whole, what it really is just authority. Okay, it's Saturn energy, even though this isn't the Saturn card. It's just the Saturn energy that's come up through the expression of the Emperor as the thing that's had authority over you, as the thing that's been ruling you. Now, like I said, it's from your past. For some of you, it's not even an actual thing that has come. So for some of you, something's caught up with you, a decision you made, a legal issue, something is here now that you have to face. But for others of you, it's not even like something tangible. It could be previous relationships, for example, or like I said, the energy of your father or the men in your life, for example, or your husband or whatever. But this is feeling some difficulty coming up because of that. And on the other hand, there's the Devil card here, which is like your lack of freedom. So what I feel is that you are growing and changing. It doesn't really mean that you've been released from the environment that wounded you or the environment that was making you act out your weakness. I'm feeling for a lot of you as well, this is financial, Pisces. I feel like part of the entrapment is, yes, you're growing and you're dealing with your shit, sorry to put it that way for those who don't like swearing, but the money stuff is still got you in bondage. You're still not, you're free on, you know, when I was prepping for your reading, the message that came through to me is that you rule the realm of the unseen, but where you're not free is in the physical realm here. This is a Capricorn card, okay? Businesses, institutions, you're not free in terms of the law of this land. So some of you, this is like overdraft debt, you know, like you're stuck. But it is positive because what I see is very masculine energy here. So you're not running away, which is good, which is very good. But this is what you're feeling and thinking about this month, feeling, you know, the pinch really, and wondering a little bit about how you're going to get free. Now, I pulled some context cards to understand, you know, why is the energy showing up in the way that it is. And I see the Page of Cups here. Your energy, a Pisces card for me. Very gentle energy, I see. With the Temperance in reverse, come up a few times in other readings I've done this month. And the Five of Swords in reverse. Now, your reversals, well, I'll come to that, but let's start with the Page of Cups. What I feel with the Page of Cups is this is actually your strength. This is why you are showing up in your King energy, because one of the main gifts that Pisces has, I believe, is hopefulness. Now, your hopefulness can actually be a form of fantasy, as in the reason that you have optimism or joy or belief is actually because you're disconnected from what's really going on. Now, for some signs, that would be very detrimental. You know, that would be illusion. That would be deception, self-deception even. That would lead to them making decisions that aren't in their highest good. But because you rule the realm of the unseen, what you do in the space of the unseen is almost more important than what you do in the physical realm. And so this part of you is a part that has actually a lot of hope, faith and optimism. This is a part of you that actually believes you can be free, that you can sort the situation out, that you can get away from whatever authority figures are chasing you. Some of these are just you know, figments of your imagination, to be honest. But whatever it is, both the Emperor and the Devil card, you believe you can get free. And these cards were clarified by the Devil card here and the Magician. And what that's saying to me is that you see your power despite the dire situation, despite the challenge, despite the entrapment that you're actually in. Now, that's on one level, but the other context here, because if it were that simple, Pisces, then we wouldn't really need this reading and you would already be free. So you do believe in yourself, but what's happened is it's shaken your foundation a little bit. And so I see the Five of Swords here, the Temperance card in reverse, and I feel like whatever broke down in the past, whatever you left incomplete, unfinished, didn't manage well, didn't deal with properly here, this is misconduct, this Five of Swords. This would be, you know, having a severe disagreement with a person and leaving things in a messy energy. You know, there's just so much around this. Like, this would be being dismissed from your job, for example. Like, this is a very difficult energy, and this is in reverse, it's in the past. And here with the Temperance in reverse, it's saying, and this is a major arcana, it's saying that this energy, whatever was disrupted and out of kilter in your past, has actually knocks you a little bit internally. It knocks you off your internal equilibrium, your internal balance, which makes this function a little less powerfully for you. And by this I mean this card, the Page of Cups, your visionary power. It's what we would refer to as like manifestation. You're the sign that's amazing at this, because you imprint heavily on the unseen realm, and then it comes into being purely because of your love for visions and illusions and fantasy. You can really visualize very well, but this visualization is impaired because the emotion that goes underneath it is topsy-turvy right now, because you are feeling the stress of all this stuff revisiting you. It feels like Ghost of Christmas Past kind of energy. Your spiritual lessons then, what's trying to become apparent to you through this process? 3 cards. Ace of Wands, take your power back. You are already in a state of power, says the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands says you have it. It's not that you need to go on a journey to get it. You're actually already empowered. That's why you are showing up as the King of Cups. You're in your space of spiritual maturation. You have it. This is like initiation energy. This is not running away. This is taking action, fire sign energy, immediate action, courage to show up and face what's happening in your life. You've also got the Page of Swords here in reverse, and this is saying, this for me is the energy of intimidation. It's saying don't allow the circumstances right now to intimidate you into silence or to intimidate you into negative talk. Don't start, I think that's why my throat chakra really started to play up in your reading. It's like, don't start to speak your bondage into existence. Don't start to think your bondage into existence. Don't start to amplify the devil energy here and feel stuck and feel like this emperor is bigger than you. It's not true. This emperor isn't bigger than you, because you have grown in your own masculine energy here, and your masculine energy is your warrior, really. It's your ability to head out into the world and to face obstacles and challenges. It's your ability to protect yourself, and it's your ability to establish yourself in the world. So you've got this energy ready. So it's saying don't allow the look of the emperor and the devil to make you sink into your small self, sink into your child self, cower. But what you use behind your fight to move forward and to face your obstacles and your challenge is your High Priestess energy. This is your card. This is the Pisces card. This is also the card of the new moon, and we are on a new moon. I'm recording this today on a new moon. So the new moon energy is in this reading. The High Priestess is saying, you know what other people don't. You know what both the Emperor and the Devil don't know. That's your power. And the reason that you know it, you know, the Emperor and the Devil are really dealing with the material plane. But the reason that you know it and they don't is because the thing that you know has nothing to do with what's physical, what's seen. It's not to do with finances or existing structures or houses or money or relationships, or that's not the plane in which you have your greatest knowing. Your knowing is the unseen realm. That's what I keep saying to you. The high priestess is the hidden secret, the spiritual secret. This is your gift, your ability to hopefully visualize and see yourself in a state of freedom despite whatever the real situation, and I say real as in whatever it looks like to your naked eye. Because what is actually real is the spiritual realm, and this is your gift, Pisces. So this month in particular, it's an ongoing lesson for you, really. It's because it's your energy, but it's just this month it's been emphasized to you again. Is you use your intuition, your spiritual practice to address these obstacles. Now, it doesn't like do it without matching external action. You know, we're in Virgo season. And Virgo is your opposite sign. And Virgo is very interested in order, duty, routine, what needs to be done. One of the big things about my Virgo energy is that I don't want to do things until what needs to be done is done. Even yesterday, I didn't record any readings yesterday. I was actually doing a lot of personal healing and I'm working on myself, and then I was resting, and then I didn't really want to rest because I was like, there's still things that need to be done. And that's my Virgo voice that's like, there's things to be done. And so how you match the Pisces energy in the Virgo season is to use your spiritual skills, wherever you believe in manifestation or law of attraction, whether you work with your ancestors, whether you use candles, like whatever it is that you're doing, growing into, to connect with yourself intuitively, use those practices to create something different, and then back those practices up with action, intention, power in the world. But don't go forward and attempt to defeat either the emperor or the devil without that, without your spiritual foundation, your basis set. Because where you're really changing things is on that level. So you have your power, Pisces. Don't become intimidated. Use your spiritual practices to reinforce your strength in the world. Now, your practical advice, that's your spiritual lesson. So what practical advice can you take on the basis of that? Well, it's exactly what I said. It's the Eight of Pentacles here, which is saying diligently pay attention. This is Virgo energy. Pay attention now to the details of what needs to be done. Yes, this energy has caught up with you. Whatever was the misconduct I talk about, whatever was out of balance, whatever didn't go right, whatever is incomplete, needs addressing in your life, has come back or is coming back. And it's coming back so that you can go over it and pay attention now and correct it with hard work, with discipline. And know that your tower doesn't have to collapse. This isn't what you've got, what you've built so far isn't something that has to end. It doesn't have to fall apart. That's not the energy that spirit wants for you. So it's saying don't allow the fear of the situation to make you go running from your own tower and leave it unmanned so that it will fall. It will fall into, I mean, it will fall literally, but it will also fall into disrepair because no one's there to maintain it. So the energy here is don't allow your foundations to be shaken. Tower in reverse, your foundations are strong. Page of Pentacles says that if you can correct things now as they come back, diligently paying attention, putting things right, sticking with the foundation that you have, you can begin to plant new seeds. You will feel freer than you have been. When I said that you have grown, but your environment might not have changed, you know, particularly financially, but it could also be other things like seeking to, I don't know, start a creative project or a family, have a baby, get married, whatever it is. You may feel that the environment hasn't been changing very much. You're changing, but you're still feeling stuck in a certain area of your life. But this is saying once you have healed the foundation, you'll be able to continue planting and manifest, create. You have everything you need to change this dynamic externally as well as internally. And the last card that you have here is the Two of Cups card. Beautiful. Couple of messages here. This feels like a reward energy. It feels like the energy you're moving towards as you see yourself through this difficult period. Now, for some of you, this is actually receiving partnership, loving partnership that you don't currently have, but that you'll be ready for because you've continued to show up as a self-actualized person in your personal power, ready to receive love without losing yourself. For others of you, it's going through a deeper cycle of love and commitment because you've weathered a storm together. Whether that's in a marriage, a relationship, a business partnership, it doesn't matter. But it's with you and someone else that you come into like a deeper bond because you went the distance together through these challenges. Well, this is really positive energy for you. I often feel that Pisces is in love with love, and this is you bringing that fantasy of love into practical reality through the commitment of loving yourself in the Virgo way, which is taking care of things, taking care of what needs to be done. Now, I want to share with you a few Venus retrograde messages because she's in her shadow right now, and she is going to go retrograde on the 5th of October. And so I'm doing these readings, I'll just say this now, like I'm doing these readings around the new moon. I don't work my energy doesn't sync to the Georgian calendar. It just doesn't work that way. And so if you're seeking a reading from me, well, when I say seeking a reading from me, not on a one-to-one basis, what I mean, if you're seeking to get your reading on YouTube from me, check around the 4 days before to 4 days after the new moon period. So those 9 days, that's the period of time in which I'm normally receiving the messages and putting this energy out, recording readings. If anything changes, I'll let you know, but that's kind of how I'm working at the moment. Okay. Just having some water. So let's talk about these Venus retrograde cards. It's actually in the wrong order. It's like that. Okay. So you've got the Star card, Major Arcana. You've got the 9 of Cups, happiness. You've got the Ace of Wands again. You had that in your main reading. And you've got the Knight of Wands here, which is actually the King of Wands in this deck. Venus retrograde, Pisces, is a time for you to get clear on the values that you're living, working from, creating from, and the things that you're desiring to bring in your life. Care about what you love and what love is to you, where you're placing your attention, where you're putting your money, what you find beautiful, what you find worthwhile. If you're willing to open up your heart to, what you're willing to go the distance for. These are things for you to reflect on during this Venus retrograde period, because there is potential now for deeper satisfaction in your personal life. But in order to create that, you have to know what that looks like. It's actually backed as well by 2 fire sign cards here. Both the initial spark of the flame, the initial seed of a thing, and then the King of Wands here being the establishment of the thing. But this is establishment that is action, passion, moving towards something. So what Venus retrograde is saying is, as the retrograde closes out, you will have opportunity to move into your passions, to experience a more passionate life. But actually what you need before you can do that is the fantasy, is the bit you're good at. I have a sense that this Venus retrograde is going to be very difficult for some people, but for you, Pisces, it's a good time for fantasy. It's a good time for dreaming. It's a good time for thinking up, conjuring up your plans around Venus or Venusian energies, ideas, issues. If you want to get married, this is the time to start planning that. Whether, even if you're single, I mean it. It's the time to start fantasizing, visualizing, imagining, getting in the energy, the joy of the thing that you want. It's about clearing the obstructions of doubt. Because like I keep saying it, and I'll say it for the last time, your ability to visualize is one of the strongest of all the zodiac signs. And so it is very powerful. This is your best manifesting tool, is to go now into that imaginative space. Start conjuring up your dreams and start feeling happy about them, because as the Venus retrograde closes, yes, here it is. You'll be able to move forward on it. You'll be able to take action, fiery action on those dreams. Okay, Pisces, that's your reading. I love you. If you'd like a personal reading with me, it's nicoleblack.com/services. And I will see you next month. Mwah.